Patrick, and he joins us right now in studio. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Now, first things first, talk to us about the recent innovations in vocational education and how to get the industry involved.
The recent innovation is now what is popular is skilling Uganda. You need to provide Ugandans with skills. Now, the industry or the world of work needs human resource, but those human resource should be skilled and their skills should be recognized. So that is the linkage with the industry. If you have skilled human resources, then you have a competitive advantage.
Right. You know, I think it's critical for us to start from you defining, now that you are, you know, an authority in this particular space, you defining what vocational training is all about. There's been misconceptions, especially for the majority who never went through such, thinking that, hey, that is just a preserve for them who didn't perform academically well. Of course, primary level, secondary level, and maybe university. And of course, that makes them to be, you know, okay, you're going to go to this side of vocational training. So demystify that, and just for the sake of the viewers, for them to get to understand how important vocational training is, how would you define it?
Vocational training is a core. It is skills. You are supposed, you have a vocation or a core to do a particular job. Now, that's what the old saying has been, that it is for those who have failed. The musomo gwarema.
Yes.
Which is not true. Because the trend now, whatever you do, whatever we are putting on, whatever you eat, whatever, even the studios, whatever is here, is done through vocation. Now, does it need people who have failed? No. However, there were such challenges, like a vocation, there was a dead end, that somebody cannot progress from one level to another, which issues have been addressed. I think now you can progress from a lower level up to a higher level. Definitely.
So
because now,
right.
Why can when you go for engineering courses and the rest at a higher level, they attract the best students. Why? Because there is a vertical progression.
Right. So that has been introduced in vocational education.
Definitely, you can progress from one level up to the other.
All right. Okay.
Well, we have seen increased interest in vocational education, with many people applying for certification in this area. How are you dealing with increased demand?
As a DIT, Directorate of Industrial Training, we satisfy everybody, whoever acquires skills, whether he has gone to school or he has not gone to school. Because you can acquire skills from the garage or from the saloon. You go there, you start training, you acquire skills, so those skills. So the Ugandans, the increase is that certification is the evidence that they have acquired the skills. They can use that certificate to get a job, or even if they go abroad, it is easier to compare. So that is the increase in the need for certification.
Right.
So how are you dealing with the big numbers?
The big numbers for DIT in specific, we introduced the flexible assessment. Every month we assess. Whoever finishes, we assess. Then we also have summative assessment. It is continuous. We have expanded our manpower. We have trained assessors, and we have validated them. So, because the assessment has a ratio, like one candidate to, one assessor to 10 candidates. That is the ratio.
Now, the viewer watching now would like to understand how different vocational training is compared to the conventional education, university training that Ugandans are accustomed to.
The vocational training is that you acquire skills at whatever stage, the hands-on skills.
You focus on a particular skill.
Definitely. For instance, if you are doing bricklaying, if you are a bricklayer or somebody who you continue with skills in that levels, from level 1 after P7 and so on.
All right.
But the similar skills can be acquired on site. You start as a porter on site and you acquire the skills.
All right.
So the conventional, you do academic throughout. You can have some vocational subjects. However, what is being done now, the curriculum is being reviewed with NCDC, such that even in conventional, you also take some vocational subjects. And those vocational subjects should be assessed and accredited. Because as you study Uangoni, you should also have some skills.
Correct. Mr. Biakatonda, let's take an example of one Senyonyi or one Karunji, a lady, who says that, hey, I think my passion is in hairdressing. So she rolls in or enrolls in institution X for her to be trained practically in hairdressing. After she's done, what you're telling us is for her to get that certification, she has to come to DIT, go through the assessing process, then get the certification. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
All right. So what is the process of assessment? How long does it take? And what exactly happens? Because someone would want to know, all right, so I've been going through this particular skilling in institution X, and now I want to go through the DIT assessing process so I can get the certificate. So how is it like? Is it classroom again? Is it reskilling again? How is it executed?
Okay, we have different forms, different packages of certification. There are those ones who want packages. Karunji has done hairdressing, however, he needs only a pencil. That is a module. So you study that module, you perfect it, we assess you, and then we accredit you in the module. There are those ones who want also a full occupation. A full occupation is like the entire hairdressing. All the packages in hairdressing, they are levels. You have level 1, level 2, level 3, and so on. By level 1, you can work under minimum supervision. By level 2, you can work on your own. By level 3, you can be a supervisor in hairdressing.
Okay.
Now, by level 2, you have an equivalent of senior 6. By level 1, you have an equivalent of senior 4. By level 3, you have an equivalent of a diploma. Level 4, a higher diploma. Then from there, you connect to the what? To the university. That is what it's called. There is no dead end.
Right.
There is progression now.
Okay.
So people can be attracted. Now we have a package for people. There is a certain Karunji who has not gone to school, but he has been in a saloon for 20 years or 10 years, and he has studied on job, handling many customers. We have what we call a worker's pass. Workers practically acquired skills. In other words, he has acquired skills through working.
All right.
So it also has levels, level 1, level 2, level 3. Such packages we have because we conduct assessment for National Water and Sewage Corporation. So there are those people who have learned skills on job.
So different packages take different durations of time.
Definitely.
All right. And do people pay for them to go through the assessment?
Yeah, they pay.
Okay. How much are we talking about?
Okay, for modular it is 70,000. For level 1, 80,000. Level 2, 100,000. Level 3, 150,000. Workers pass is general, 150,000.
All right. And after that, you're assured of certification.
Yeah. We certify you, and you get it. We recognize your competency. That your competency level, you are level 1, level 2, or level 3.
I must admit that is highly affordable. Now let us stick to unconventional vocational education. Now many young people are flocking for these courses like hairdressing, cooking, like she said, the unconventional ones. Now how are you planning to, how are you planning to assess these courses to meet the high standard?
Okay, conventional, what we are planning is to introduce them. Convention is also good, however, you add in the the appetizers, the vocational elements. That is why we are working hand in hand with the National Curriculum Development Center, NCDC, and we are reviewing the lower curriculum for secondary, whereby some students will be having some vocational subjects. However, those vocational subjects will be assessed. A student can do all the subjects. In addition, he has home economics. That home economics will be assessed at every stage, either at modular level, and then by senior 3, we assess the student at level 3. Then by senior 5, then he goes for his UNEB in addition. Now, that one has introduced the skill, marketed the student.
Right.
Even if he goes at the university, he has finished his bachelor's in tourism or in business management, but he knows also hairdressing. That is additional. From there, with his business management, he can now also start a salon.
Right.
And I understand some girls are being trained at the Presidential Initiative, Skilling Uganda, at around Wandagare. So tell us more about that as the Directorate of Industrial Training.
Yeah, it is a presidential initiative for skilling the girl child. He has also the presidential initiative for skilling the boy child. So for the girl child, recently, I think on Sunday we had a graduation, and those people were assessed by DIT. So we are collaborating with the organizers of the presidential program. But there is also the one for the boy. There has been training.
Located at?
Near New Vision. Is it Chigowa? Chigowa. They have been training. We conducted the assessment. We are also going to do an assessment next week, starting from Monday. The presidential initiative is tailored, is targeting the urban youth, where unemployment is.
Right.
Mainly.
Okay.
The girls and the boys. So, but they are trained for 6 months. After training, then they undergo the assessment.
So how do I apply to get in?
I think
what is the criteria?
The criteria, you need to get the organizers, because our role is there is Farida Mayanja who organizes it, and maybe Madam Nachove. But the criteria, I think they involve the local people to select those students.
Okay.
And it is whoever comes.
First come, first serve.
First come, first serve.
All right. So, Mr. Patrick, we were having this conversation before, and it's interesting to see how the statistics are growing. Is it growing or even, wow, it's not even tripling, doubling? Normally, you used to assess around 11,000 students. Now, that number has skyrocketed over the past few weeks to 54,000. Are you ready for this? And what strategies are you employing to, pretty much ensure that you have the capacity to assess these growing numbers? Because it seems like day in, day out, with conversations that, hey, we need to overhaul the education system to ensure that, hey, it caters for that skilling, practical skilling bit for our students and children. Then it shows that the numbers, pretty much Ugandans are waking up to realizing that, hey, this is what we critically need for us to compete in the job market and create an employment for ourselves. So from 11,000 to 54,000, this is just in 2018. What are you doing to ensure that you're ready capacity-wise for these growing numbers?
Okay, thank you very much. The numbers are growing, but some people have been having skills, but they didn't know that their skills need to be recognized. That is one group. Two, we thank the media. You have campaigned the vocational training, but also the population is realizing that there is a need for vocational training. And now, so for us as a DIT, we are prepared for any number, because the Directorate of Industrial Training is an old government body which was established in 1972.
Right.
So we are capable to handle any number. And when there is increase in number, we are ready for those numbers.
So you also increase your capacity as well. Okay.
We have increased our staffing. We have trained the assessors. We have validated them. And the assessor ratio, because one assessor assesses an average of 10. 10 candidates. So it is very expensive, by the way. The normal assessing for vocational is like 25 times more than the normal examination.
Right. And you know, you've mentioned that DIT deals with different, you know, clusters of people who come through. There are people who have no skilling and you take them through that first skilling. There are people who have come who are gurus and they just want certification. Different, you know, cadres come to you. Now the question would be, where does your mandate reach? Because we have different, you know, vocational skilling training institutions that are cropping up in Uganda day in, day out. Who is regulating this?
Our mandate is does not go beyond. We are a directorate of industrial training. We guide. We don't train. We guide the training in the industry by developing what we call an assessment and training package, which is like a curriculum, but based on the industry needs. Then we conduct assessment and certify.
Right.
We are the only one who certified that so and so is the work of this level to guide the employers. Now, this one, the certification does not have any boundary. You can be from a graduate. We assessed Kira Motors.
Right.
They had finished masters in civil, in engineering, mechanical, some bachelors in mechanical engineering.
Right.
However, they needed a certificate of competency from Directorate of Industrial Training. So we had to assess them and give them the level.
All right. So that's where your mandate stretches to.
Definitely.
But just for the sake of the viewers, who then is mandated to regulate the institutions, different institutions? Because now it's becoming, I'm a business person, and I'll tell you, business people always look at where the gap is and the opportunity is, and they go in there full blown. So we are having different institutions, you know, for skilling, vocational training cropping up. And the question is, who is regulating this? Because at the end of the day, Ugandans want to know whether institution X is accredited and if it's, you know, has authentic standards to skill these people accordingly. So who is mandated to do that?
The one who is regulating as per now for training institutions, there is already a TVET policy. You have heard of it?
Right.
It is proposing a TVET council which is supposed to regulate all players. However, as per now, the BTVET institutions, the vocational institutions, which are tertiary in nature, they are regulated by National Council for Higher Education.
All right.
Then the non-tertiary, they are regulated by Ministry of Education and Sports through BTVET department. Then for quality assurance inspection is done by Directorate of Education Standards.
So someone should make sure that they go through these particular institutions just to verify whether the institution they want to join is authentic.
That is only for training institutions.
Correct.
Then for companies, other employers, they have different regulatory bodies. I can give you an example for the tourism. They have Uganda Tourism Board, which regulates them. However, all of those ones, they are assessed by Directorate of Industrial Training.
So your job is to simply oversee and guide. Now let's talk about technology vis-a-vis vocational training. Now, how are you moving to meet the changes in technology? You realize we have a lot of technology, computer-inspired products like e-learning. Yet vocational learning was analog inspired. How are you moving to meet the changes?
We review our assessment and training packages, which is like a curriculum, to meet the changes. It is not because the changes are dynamic. They are very fast. They are computer. They are no longer Stone Age. They are now computer age. So we review and we match with the technology because the industry needs the new technology. And whoever can cope up with the new technology, however the human resource prepared should also be able to match with the technology.
We also see a lot of young people going for unconventional education. Now, and a lot of people are saying that it's because they failed elsewhere. Is this true?
No, it is not true. There is no person who is a failure.
It's not for failures?
No, it is for people.
So help us demystify that.
What I can demystify, is that, for instance, for vocational training, whatever is in this studio is done by somebody who is vocational related. Whatever you eat is done by somebody vocational. So different occupation, tailoring, agriculture, everything, name it. Even the one who operates the plane in the air is vocational trained. So is that one for people who have failed?
Right.
True. So now, what are some of the challenges you've encountered as the Directorate of Industry Training with regards to skilling all Ugandans?
With regard for Directorate of Industrial Training, is that many people, they don't have the information that there is a directorate which can assess and certify their skills. Then also there are the normal challenges which affects vocational education, like some occupations are gender related. If you are for tailoring, hairdressing, that is way female dominated. Bricklaying, motor vehicle mechanics is for male dominated. So we need the time to demystify that one. Also the challenge still exists that vocation is for people who have failed to be in life. That is how it is perceived. However, that one, as I told you, it is now improving.
Right.
People are now becoming to embrace the. Then also funding is also a challenge because vocation is very expensive.
Indeed.
The materials, the people to teach it because they are professionals, the assessment itself, so it is very expensive and it needs investment.
All right. Mr. Byakatonda, what is the future of vocational training, especially in light of the changing times globally? AI is coming real fast and it's taking up jobs already. You talked of tailoring. Now we're having machines that do this, and business people are actually opting to, install machines because number one, they're efficient, they're accurate, and all these other things. The timelines are much faster, shorter, and we're seeing in many sectors the machines taking over. So what is the future of vocational training if machines are coming in to sort this out for us real fast?
Thank you very much. The future, I can say vocational training is a virgin land.
It is.
But also there are challenges of technological changes which reduces manpower. However, those technologies are still manned by manpower. What you do is to review your curriculum, to train manpower to match the new needs.
Are we doing that at DIT?
Yeah, DIT we assess and we do it because we conduct what we call the labor market scan. We scan the labor market, we know the projection, we know what is coming, then we review what we call assessment and training packages, ATP. It is like a curriculum and it follows the DACAM process. DACAM is develop the curriculum, so it follows that process. So we do it.
All right. Okay.
So why is it important to get the industry involved with supporting vocational education? Because we've seen in the past that the feeling has been that it is too expensive to have apprentices around, like you, the Directorate of Industrial Training, supporting vocational education. We've seen in the past that it's too expensive to have apprentices from your directorate. How are you keeping up?
Thank you very much. First of all, for the industry, they are very critical in vocational training because they are the consumers of the product. In other words, if we want to have a demand-driven, not supply-driven kind of training, then you have to involve the industry. Right away from management, then curriculum review, what we call assessment and training packages, then assessment, and also such that because they consume the product, they know what they want, they are the customers. So in such a decision making, they are very critical. Then the apprenticeship, those are people who come and train in the industry. They come when they are young, some are not yet of required age. So, but our role is that those people are assessed and and classified. Because the DIT is initial stage came as the product, the result of apprenticeship. It was through the spanner boy revolution.
Right.
Now the spanner boys, they could go in the garages, they ran all the mechanics and whatever. Then when they were still below age, then when they come for age, employable age, 18 and above, they had no certification. So DIT was there to conduct the assessment.
All right.
Okay, let's sway from the problems a little bit and talk about the achievements. What are some of the achievements DIT has garnered over the last couple of years with regards to ensuring that all Ugandans are skilled and they have the requisite skills to ensure work retention? Yes.
Thank you very much. The achievement for DIT, one, there is a policy achievement. DIT is recognized under the BTVET Act 2008 as a quality assurance body. We have an industrial training council which has many players from Federation of Uganda Employers, Uganda Manufacturers Association, Minister of Gender. My chairman is the Executive Secretary of National Planning Authority. So DIT is in the actual planning of the entire of the Uganda as a government. So that is a major achievement.
All right.
Also now the growth in numbers is also a major what? A major
achievement. Let me ask you this, as we wrap this up. You know, we've always been having these conversations of, hey, on this side we have unemployment, on this other side we're seeing the government, you know, making strides in ensuring that industries are set up to create employment for young people. And these people who are, you know, majorly employed are them that have this vocational skills, practical skills. But just the other day, the president, you know, did not assent to the, you know, minimum wage bill. Of course, with the majority saying that it is this same group of people who are exploited by these industries, you know, meager pays, peanuts, so to speak. So DIT, do you also have that mandate to negotiate on behalf of the people you train, such that once you certify them, they also live a quality life thanks to the payment they'll be getting out of the employment they'll be getting thereafter? So do you push yourselves to that extent to ensure that you're not just certifying people, you're not just assessing these people, ensuring that they have the best skills world over, but also after that, they live a sustainable life, they get a good pay, what they really truly deserve? Are you getting to that extent?
Okay, thank you very much. What I can say is that for us, we add value.
You stop at adding value.
Now,
and that's
from adding value, that means our product is highly competitive. He does not need the minimum wage. He needs the maximum wage.
But a majority are being paid and are being employed actually in these industries, and you see this in the papers. They always cry foul. So it's just at adding value, and that's it. That's where you reach.
My advice to them is because they are not certified.
Okay.
If this employer is not giving you what you required, and you have the competence, you are already certified, you move on and you go to another employer. However, if you are not certified, nobody can recognize your competence.
Right.
You just keep in the industry. And
so what you're saying is peanuts. Certification comes with that benefit where you can negotiate better for your pay.
Definitely.
All right.
You can even go abroad.
Okay.
Many of our products, they go abroad and get better pay.
All right.
For us, we advocate for maximum wage, not minimum.
Okay, so as we bring this to a wrap, camera 3 is your camera. Your last remarks to our viewers watching us today, and even the parents alike, them that push their children to go to, you know, to do law and all this other white collar, you know, trainings for them to get white collar jobs. Just speak to them. Let's change these mindsets.
My call, first of all, for the parents, encourage your students to go for vocational training. That is the way to go. Even for students, please, even if you have academic, you can add on vocational training. However, once you do for vocational, make sure that you are assessed. Your vocational skills should be, and please, they should be assessed by a recognized body. For training institutions, don't conduct your own assessment. It is not your mandate. Come to DIT and you get the center. Come work with us. We are on 3rd Street, industrial area. Then you come and we work together, and you get a center, then we upgrade to Uganda.
Mr. Byakatonda, as we wrap up in 20 seconds, would it be sane to say that vocational training is better than the conventional university education?
Yeah, thank you very much. I don't want to compare. However, what I can say, it is the way to go, because this is where the demand is.
Right.
Okay. Mr. Byakatonda, Patrick, the director of the Directorate of Industrial Training, many thanks for having answered our call to come here on
Thank
NTV.
you so much.
Welcome.
You're still watching Morning at NTV with me, Romeo Busiku and Mala. Right about now, we are going to cross over to our reporter, Stephen Bide, who's right there, ready to give us the latest with regards to the traffic in the city and its environs. Mr. Mbide, if you can hear me, how is your morning and what's the latest?
Good morning to you, Romeo, and of course Mala. They are in the studios. Yes, it's another cold morning, but of course it's not surprising because of course the weatherman has already predicted that we're going to have more rains, and of course we saw some yesterday, and I also think that today we shall also have more rains. Here at Mengo, where I'm coming to you from, I'm just standing along Masaka Road. Next to me is Buganda Blange. The Blange building is the administrative unit of Buganda Kingdom. Of course, Mengo area is also next to the Mengo Hospital. We have also Namembe Cathedral. We have the Federation of Uganda Football Association here in Mengo, as well as Ndeje University, Kampala campus. So it's not surprising that Mengo area is one of the fast-growing suburbs of the Kampala city center. Here along the Masaka Road is the road that brings people coming from Wakaliga, Mengo Market, and Natete, as well as those coming from beyond, like Busega, Kaboja, and the areas. But as you drive through Wakaliga, joining Mengo Market, is where you're going to be slowing down. That's where the traffic jam begins from. But the good thing is you just keep driving at a slow pace, and after the Mengo Trading Center, continuing towards Pakuli traffic lights, less of congestion as you drive towards the city center, especially for you who is heading towards Kampala Road. You just make way through Odi Kampala, through that side of Logadi Road, and then join that side of